sun gon' rise again. Let 'em know, let 'em know, let 'em know. The sun gon' rise again. Let 'em know, let 'em know, let 'em know.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on the Omega Men yet again. So looking at things and where we are, we're making pretty good time. We also have a new follower. Thank you very much, the Natty TV. Thank you for following. But today we're going to be working on combat. And if we scroll, I keep having to do this. Outside of that, I really didn't change anything. I added a few pictures, Spec Ops Line, as well as some ones here that I couldn't find anything for originally. Not much. Let's take a look here. So yeah, and our next major thing to worry about is combat. And what we can do is let's start by putting we'll call it combat operations. And overall, things are already done for combat. This entire game was an experiment more than anything. It was an experiment on how to, well, broadly speaking, how do you make a system that's generic, like Megaversal? Kevin doesn't have to spend much time making any games he feels like just because it's, well, yeah. He doesn't have to spend much time making the game because the game's already done. He just gets to work on the lore in the background and any exterior mechanics. Which was my intent here. I just wanted to see how you could more than anything. And generally speaking, yeah, I have. Like that's kind of the extent of what I've been doing so far. So let's see. Put it all in normal text. Said let's put this all to normal text. There we go. Deadly situation. Use of skill and elements to emerge alive. It's a deadly dance. Force the carrot. That's a terrible line. Notepad, why did you write that? The character. Thrown into the door there. Where the characters and their skills are thrown into the fray, forcing them to fight for their survival. Don't really need to spend there. Don't need this really. Yeah, which means we got this as one, so I should really just change that to things could engage in physical in combat with the intent to subdue or force an enemy to retreat. Characters will enter a series of turns and rounds to determine the victor. All characters will be performing actions during their turn as characters have finished their turn, the round. And all characters have finished their turn, the round concludes. Each turn will have a character perform a number of actions. Equal to their combat, at least equal to their combat training. Any unspent actions during and are not refunded. Do not roll over. There needs to be something here. Put that as a note, and I'll probably ask some people. Because I want it, because you don't have that many. That's like the key thing. You don't actually have that many actions to do. Even command only has 4, I believe. So at most you're going to end up with 5 or 6. And that's if you really, that's if you start min-maxing. But overall you're not really going to. Like 95% of people. Ugh. Roll a d20 plus your speed modifier. Ambushing an enemy has characters act first. Before the initiative is rolled, the character is worse. Characters assault a fortified position or approach with a clear lead up. And the defenders would act first. Then roll initiative as normal. Alright, so do I actually put this fucking speed modifier anywhere? I don't, do I? Okay, you are gonna put speed modifier down here then. Speed modifiers. Speed modifier. Each character must a speed modifier based off of their speed attribute. Hey, character. If the game master wishes to use a grid for tactical combat, then the speed modifier also doubles as the number of spaces the character is able to move for an action. All right. D20. So we want speed 0. We can probably make that a chart within a chart. It's a really awkward place to put it, but it doesn't really matter all that much outside of situations like this. So it's like, where do you put it? Drive. Ooh. I get something else to drink. Got a Dr. Pepper for dinner, and every time I drink soda, it's just like, bleh. Like halfway through it, I'm like, okay, I'm done now. God, where are you? Zasa Megamin. No, no, Pat, stop getting distracted by things. Yeah, I always do. Oh God, it is not appreciating my bullshit. You know what? Begone. Begration. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to put speed attribute, initiative bonus, spaces, yeah, called spaces moved. Spaces moved during tactical combat. Spaces moved during tactical combat. Alright. Bonus. So speed at speed. 2000. Here's our thing. There we are. Zero. It would be 0 inserts. God, what is the stupid not function? Where are you? Nope, yeah, fuck it. 0 or less initiative bonus, -6. You're going to be able to move 1 space. I keep clicking every wrong button. Cease Steam, please. 4. -3. Actually, it'd be -3, 0, 1, 2. Place of moved. We're going to call that. Actually, we'll call it 2. 5 to 9. 3. So again, that's, you're moderately fast. You use an action, and you can just pretty much use sprinting out of an angle. Most people are going to have 1 to 2 actions. If you're going to have 1 to 2 actions, that's kind of your thing you're doing. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see, 10 to 14. 15 and 15 to 19. And then we'll do 20 plus. You're going to get an initiative bonus of +3, and you get to move 6 spaces. Probably I can have a little bit more of an elegant solution to things later on. However, this is going to be a stopgap for future things. Spaces move. It's inevitably, like, one of the big things that I think people get really confused about with things like riffs is that there isn't a grid, but it uses that old school methodology, that old school thinking where grids were really important. So you end up in a weird situation where it's like, all right, we want to use a grid. A lot of the rules say grid good, however, you can't use a grid. So you end up in a very strange situation where people, I think, get a little bit confused with it. So I think taking out the grid aspect could help, or at least adding in a, I wouldn't say a stopgap method. There we go. Actually, what I can do, let's put you over middle left. Put it over here. We got a little bit of room. Put an image right there. Perfect. So, with that section done, we get to move on to the second part of combat, which is the natural survival rating. Heading 2. All human characters have a natural NSR of 4, meaning that any roll 5 or higher is a hit against them. Characters who are superhuman or augmented. Let's see. The Omega Men do their enhanced reflexes and heightened senses have a NSR 5. Animals, monsters, and other creatures have different NSRs due to their unique way of approaching things. A regular human will have an NSR 4, but animals such as wolves have NSR as high as 8. Yeah, alright. And this is my attempt to emulate the Palladium combat system, which is a little bit weird. Because in Palladium and Megaversal in general, what it is that it's... Alright, it's pretty much just D20 plus strike verse 4 in 99% of situations. That's all you have to do. You just have to beat 4. The problem arises when, say, I want to parry. So it becomes D20 plus strike versus D20 plus parry. Or I want to, I want to dodge. It's D20 plus strike versus D20 plus dodge. Which, it's really simple when you look at it like this. However, Kevin doesn't do that. What Kevin likes to do, here, give me 1 second, I can more accurately give an impression for everyone involved. There we go. So, congratulations. This is how Kevin likes to write. He likes just to put a lot of words in between very essential mechanics. Now, mind you, all of these is lorem ipsum to us, but to him, it's important. It's important information that we know, and because he likes little modifiers. Again, this is a very old school idea, which he would like to the, oh, you get a +1 in X situation. But there's going to... par level. Oh my god. Alright, give me 1 second. For some reason, my computer's believing that I'm French now, and like switching my keyboard to the French keyboard for some reason. But he likes getting you like, okay, here's a +1 situation modifier in X situation. For X, but then he's like, okay, here's a +2 situation modifier for X, but when Y. And there are dozens of these little changes, little edits. And I think the thing that gets people most afraid about Palladium is that there's a lot of stuff in it. This isn't a game that came out 2 years ago. No, this is a big game. There are a lot of details and a lot of little lore and writing. Because this is the game Kevin runs. This is Kevin's game. And Kevin loves his game. Kevin knows his game like the back of his hand. We do not. The people who play these games a lot, the people who play Heroes Unlimited, the people who play Rifts, the people who play Dead Rain and all those, the people who are doing that know the game. They know it exceedingly well. And that's kind of the point, is that you're supposed to know it. You have it up here, and once you do know it, you're making it the game that you wanted to make, which is a valuable thing to understand. But it's also completely inapproachable sometimes. So that's why I'm here. So let's see. So we want to take all our actions in combat. Can we put everything here? Yes, we can. Let's go to heading 2. Hello, dog. How are you? You want to bark some more? I think my neighbor's got a new dog. He's a little yappy bastard. Nice dog. It's yappy. Yeah, there will. That's... takes a breather and refocuses. They add a plus 1d6 to their initiative value. You know, okay, here, I'm gonna give them, they may re-roll their initiative or add plus 1d6 to it. I rolled a 1 on my d20 and I now have the 3. You know, I'm operating on 3. I want to re-roll it. I rolled a 19 and I need to act a little bit quicker because the enemies are acting a little bit quicker. I'm going to roll a d6. So that's kind of the interactions there, and that should in theory work. Ooh, God. Okay, so we want to do advanced attacks. So advanced attacks for, you take all of these, we change it back to Leto. Now, here's one other very cool thing about, I don't even know what you would call it, of Kevin. Kevin likes Kung Fu. What I mean by Kevin likes Kung Fu is Kevin loves martial arts. He adores it. Which is a thing which reinforces the idea that I think riffs in all these games were for a 90s kid. For a 90s boy to love, because there's an extensive martial arts system in his games. I wonder if I can find it. Probably be in the HU book. Be the best one. Or Super Spies. Where are you? All right, so we'll look at ninjas and super spies. Because of course he has a book, of course he has a book called Ninjas and Super Spies. Why wouldn't he? Because with this as the cover. Why wouldn't he? Because it's Kevin, and Kevin has no sense of right or wrong. And Kevin appeals to that primal, teenage boy instinct. Where is the fucking okay. So this one's a little bit big. I want to say that it's a little bit big. However, let's see. So it starts on page 81. The Compendium of Martial Arts. And what I mean by there are quite a few. Hello, Salmon. We're going through martial arts because Kevin is insane. Like, you get a lot of these things with Kevin. Kevin loves things. He likes numbers, and he likes adding things on top of others. So you end up like, oh, Aikido. Why is Aikido? Like, it is, like, there's completely different things for Aikido versus Bok Pai, crane style Kung Fu. Where's the apps? Because I know there is actually Bifu. Bifu is hilarious because it's literally just fighting like you're a bee. Why is that a thing in this world? I don't know. I don't know why Bifu exists, but it do. I'm trying to find what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. So I just want to get everyone an idea of just the pure amount of things that Kevin likes putting into his games with martial arts as a focus. Every single one of those is a unique attack. Me punching you in the face is one kind of attack. However, if I do a knife hand, that's a different thing than a palm strike. Me kicking you? No. Well, there's a leg hook kick, the snap kick, backward sweep, reverse turning kick, and oh, we can't forget about the drop kick. Oh, there's also the plain flat jump kick, which is completely different. And every single one of these has different rules behind it. That's why I have a deep affection for Kevin's insanity. Because he does these things. Where he does have a entire thing about Cotton Fist Kung Fu. Why does he do this? Because he can. So, probably in a later project, I might add a lot of those different weird strikes and all those different combat maneuvers to this advanced attack section. But for right now, I don't think I probably will. What I should do anyway is we'll add 2 just because it inevitably, if we want to keep the theory alive. The attacker. Stun a target, a character. If the attack connects, the opponent loses 1 action. Next round. And we'll put in something, I don't know, something really silly, like, drop kick. Unarmed. Plus, we'll give that up. +3, why not? Make that a big move for people who know what they're doing. Flying kick. If the attack connects, we should say target is knocked to the ground, regardless of outcome. The attacker is knocked to the ground. Don't worry, I'm going to use my ultimate technique of running at you and kicking you in the dick. Congratulations. It's my ultimate attack. A to Z. Why did you go down there? Stop that. Stop, in the name of God. Alright, now we get to work about defensive actions. This is all I really have for defensive actions. I actually tried to come up with different ones. That's this is not for lack of trying, but there's only so much you can do to mitigate damage or dodge damage or do something like that without going into the minutia of, well, this character has a +7 to parry, but he also has a +3 to auto dodge. Auto dodge, but a +5 to dodge. Which, again, doesn't seem really bad when you look at it like this. Problem is, it's not that. It's never that. It's never that simple with Kevin. It's the here, give me 1 second. I can get the accurate Kevin experience. All right, there we go. Let me just slap that right in the middle there. All right, so congratulations. You now have a proper Palladium rulebook explanation. It's there. All the information you need is there. It's just not. It's actually astounding how Kevin can... Kevin's back and forth is truly an art piece. Let's see. Do I have everything? Yeah, it looks like everything. Successful. The character successfully dodges the blow. Let's think. Okay, so we've got our basic attacks. Our natural survival rating. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that. Actually, no, I don't want Ninjas and Super Spies. That's not the book I really want for this. General Systems, Palladium. Let's check out Dead Rain. Dead Rain's probably the most human of the books. And you don't really have to worry about many other things out like superpowers changing things. Which, fun fact, does change things. Does change things very dramatically. So we need 73. Rolls a strike. We will need to put body armor in. We dodge. Attacker rolls damage. Defender may attempt to roll with impact. Yeah, Kevin has some weird ideas. And I like him. Again, he does have a lot of interesting concepts, but you get a lot of this. Where it's just a lot of words that don't need to be. Thing is, I'm also going to be cutting out a lot of this, which doesn't seem very impactful, but it's either put that in or why is the perception roll in the goddamn combat section? Who knows? We live in a society, and Kevin makes no sense. So, dodge gunfire gun terms. Okay. Yeah. See, you also get... Yeah, you get some weird bits, like here with AR, because how AR works, mind you, you have to roll a 4 or higher to hit. However, you need to roll, above the AR. You have to roll above the AR to do damage. Which If that seems confusing, it is. Because you can hit someone without damaging them. And it's just terms. Because Kevin thinks that's important. Kevin thinks it's really important that if I shoot and it hits someone in the shoulder but doesn't do anything, like it's like you have to tell them that. It's like, okay, you shoot, you don't do any damage. Rather than, oh, you miss. No, it's like you hit. You very much hit, but you just don't do anything. Let's see. Oh, God, what do we... Oh yeah, here's all the fucking hand strikes and various attacks. Like, oh no. Alright. Don't think we need to add anything else. Combat-wise. Think most things are working pretty solidly. So this means, if we scroll all the way up, combat is done. Yeah, that's it. Not much else to really do when it comes to combat, because it's a fairly simplistic system. I think that's kind of one of the issues that I'm kind of working with right now, is that it's a fairly simple system, and I've said it on my Discord that this game isn't going to take long. I'm estimating that if I really wanted to, I could probably get it done today. Easy. But, I want to delay on a few things and take my time. But we want to do equipment next. We'll do equipment. The characters are expected to running into a combat scenario in skivvies is a good way to end up some things lunch. Equipment is a great equalizer combat and other situations. The character can be expected to have all the equipment necessary for themselves and their background, but the game master may designate certain items or pieces of equipment off limits or mandatory. All right. Alright, now I get to go to the big list of guns and start adapting everything. To the gun list. Gun list, give me my gun list. Where are you? The big list of weapons. I have actually been debating on how I actually want to do damage, do weapons in general, because half of me wants to do the damage class system like I've used in a few systems, which is, well, right here. A weapon class can be what it is, and that's how much damage it does. D3, D6, 2D6, 3D6, 4D6. Doesn't seem too impactful, but it's a pretty simple system, and it allows people to make their characters the way they want them to make them fairly quickly, which is good, and I like that. However, sometimes that system doesn't quite work, and I need to do the attribute bonus, don't I? Doop-a-doop, boop, boop. You don't realize these things until you look at them later. Let's see. Alright, how about this? We do something like put that here. Put this here. We'll do derived attributes. And take the speed modifier. We want this section. We want to take that away from here. We'll put NSRs up here. Yes. Okay, perfect. That works. Then we scroll all the way back up. Okay, we've got our speed modifier. We want to make that a heading 4. Okay, what we can do is we're going to write... Okay, so what do we need? We need... call it the mental strength modifier. And that's going to be based on will plus int. Or int plus, it would be int plus will, wouldn't it? Int plus will. You're gonna need. Do we put in things like dodge modifiers? I mean, I guess that would be. Half of me wants to. Half of me wants to put in the dodge modifiers tied to the specific attribute. The other half of me doesn't. There's an answer to this puzzle, and I don't know what it is. Okay. Because what I'm right now kind of trying to see in my head is this. This is a Megaverse character sheet. It's this. Actually, more accurately, it would be... Is this one autofill? No, it doesn't autofill. Which auto... Come on, give me an autofill one. Yeah, okay. Here's the... This is what I'm looking at right over here. Which doesn't seem very important right now, but you get things like, let's say I have a 10 speed. At 10 speed, I run 7 miles per hour, 11 kilometers per hour. However, with this, I think I need a 17. I get a completely different skill on top of that. So let's see, my PP. What they usually do is that if you have an excessive attribute, you get a bonus to things. Normally, a lot of the time people don't do that. Because if you get, let's say, an average of a 3d6 attribute would be, let's say, 10 across the board. You get nothing. Yeah, you get nothing. However, if you get, let's say, a good roll and you get a 20 on your IQ, you get a 6% on top of all your skills. Let's say, hey, your mental, your mental endurance, you get a 20. You get a 20 here. Oh, look, on my trust intimidates now 60%. My, physical strength 20. Oh, I have biotic strength, which is different than all the other strengths, but you get bonus damage. That's what I'm like right now, like trying to debate on how to do properly, because this is one of those parts where you can get a lot of numbers. And the way Kevin sees it, the way the original writer of Megaversal sees it, is these are important because, again, not most characters aren't going to have that, so you want to reward players who roll well. A character who is excessively skilled at something should feel excessively skilled at it. This, however, is a nightmare to actually work with. So if I want to do something like that, maintain the same... Let's say we want to maintain the same concepts for it. So we will do mental strength modifier is going to be primarily tied to will. And then we're going to have the physical strength. Physical strength modifier, which is going to be tied to power. We already have the speed modifier. Why do you need intelligence? Okay, intelligence. Alright. And then fucking Farrell's going to need something. No, Farrell doesn't need something. Oh, God. Do the consortium. Da 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 da. How important do you feel derived attribute? All right. Okay. We're going to take it, we're going to simplify it down, because that's what we're doing here. We're taking it and simplifying it. So, speed attribute is done. We already know what this looks like. We already want to know what this looks like. So, let's do something like this. We want to do the power modifier. Hello, phone. Actually, we can do this. We'll call it the strength. And then we're going to take this. Each character will trait a strength modifier based off of their power attribute. The Game Master wishes these. This determines the bonus, the bonuses, and penalties when using physical weapons or hand-to-hand combat. This determines the bonus and penalty, and this determines additional damage when using physical hand-to-hand combat. We'll paste that right here. So we've got the strength modifier. Cool. We need the mental modifier now. Or do we? Should a character who's intelligent, very intelligent, get a bonus to their skills? That's a question. Let's ask. Let's ask the masses. At here. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, just give a small bonus. I don't want to do like this massive bonus. Because what I was thinking of is something like... we'll call it the skill modifier. The skill modifier is something like a 4% bonus every major step. So your max you're probably going to get is like, oh wow, you get a plus 12% bonus, but that's if you have like a 20 plus intelligence. Like, that is like you are an exceedingly intelligent human being. Even that seems a little bit big, so let's do maybe 10, and then we do 5 steps, so it's 2, no, fuck, that doesn't sound impactful, though. Let's do 4 steps, okay. So the most you're gonna get a little bit of a bonus, but that little bit of a bonus goes a long way. Because immediately, and if you have 12 skills, 12 times 3 is 36%. You gain 36% on top of everything, which is very handy. But if you're that intelligent, most likely you're taking a dump elsewhere. Alright, yeah, let's do a small one. We don't really have much physical skills outside the, well, physical skill part. Yeah. Brain. That's your word, Babakis. So we want to do the skill modifier. Nope, cancel. Each character will present a skill modifier. Skill modifier based off their intelligence attribute. To this determines a small bonus to all skills they possess. Small bonus to all skills they possess. However, we should ask ourselves, if you're exceedingly stupid, do you get a penalty? Well, that's good, Bobkis. I'm glad you're making progress. Progress is always good. Now, let's now aside. Now the reverse. Should a stupid character take skill penalties? Or is it because they're stupid they're not going to take those skills? I'm going to say no. I don't think that's right. With all skills they possess, and they are added to the total, not total, base amount. That's what I'm looking for. Base amount. Yeah, it could be easy. What are the magic skills again? Let me get my head off this for a second. Okay, skill modifier, and we'll do the finally each character will possess a what's a good one to word it? But will possess a mental strength. All right. Stack ranking them. All right, so stack ranking them. Let's do something like, man, people watching the VOD are going to be really confused, but that's going to be hilarious. So let's do something like creation, influence. Actually, begun creation, protection, influence, and then into healing. There we go. You're looking at a man who plays support characters. I like me some support characters. Finally, each character will possess a mental strength modifier based off of their willpower attribute. Ward off mental effects and other damaging. Let's see. They determine the ability to ward off mental effects and horrifying situations. Actually, no. Ward off negative mental effects. Such as being scared, because being scared sucks. Alright, so we want to do something we'll call the skill modifier. This makes characters a little bit more complicated, but again, you only have to do this once. Once it's done, Gucci. You don't gotta think about it any longer. But we'll call it the mental strength modifier. I will reorganize this later. I will make a decision probably later tonight in regards to how I want to do attribute. We'll take this. Power attribute. We're going to do bonus damage. Is having the lift important? No, the lift isn't important. It was never important. So let's do something akin to for those, let's do empathy, will, intuition. There we go. Power attribute. So let's say we have a power attribute of okay, let's do 0 to 5. We're going to have a -2 bonus damage to physical attacks. We are not strong if 0 to 5. However, if we have a 6 to 10, we're going to have a 0 to it. 11 to 16, it would be 16, yeah. Or it would be 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, no. 11 to 15, we're going to have a 1. 16 to 20, we're going to have a 2. 20 plus, we're going to have a 3. That seems incredibly small. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing. We want to do insert column to the right. Actually, we'll put a 0 here, and what we'll do is plus 1d6, plus 2d6, plus 3d6. Again, you are inhuman when it comes to this. This is average. This is a fairly average human being. This is a strong person. This is a really strong person. You're not human quite here. So what we'll do is bonus to with physical attacks. I think I will give it a bonus. So what we'll do is 0, 1, 2, 3, with the idea being, this is This is my justification. The stronger you are, you're going to be able to swing things faster. So pretty much you're swinging faster and harder. It's me hitting you with a bat versus me cracking, it's me swinging the bat a little bit because I'm not very strong versus me cracking the bat over your fucking head because I am a strong man and I am stronger than you. Lamau, get off my house, you loser. All right. It's dabbing on the haters, effectively. All right, so scale modifier. We want to put this right here. We're going to call this the intelligence attribute. Intelligence attribute. Complete column. Bonus to skill. To base skills. And we want... if we're reducing it by 9, by 3, I mean... so we want 0 to, we can probably put it down to about 12. Actually, let's do 13, and then we can do 14 to 16, 18 to 20. Actually, no. Let's put it down 0 to 10, 11 to 14 to, let's see, 17, 18, 20, then 20 plus. All right, okay, that works. So you are moderately intelligent. If if you're a little bit above average, you get a 3%. So that would be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's a 4. It's kind of a large gap. So what I can do is let's put this down to 16, 17 to 19 instead, and then 20 plus is 12. So 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. Then 20 plus, you get 12%. Cool. Cool. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. And then finally, the mental strength modifier. We want to do the willpower attribute. And then we want to do... delete both columns. We will add a column to the right, and we want to do the mental strength modifier. We'll call that -6, -4. Actually, what we'll do is -4, -2, 0. Actually, what I can do is probably steal it from the intelligence attribute. Except 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty average, you're going to have 0. Actually, what we can do is -2, -2, -4. Like, you are literally a tiny child with low willpower. You do not deal well with scary things. 0, 2, 4, 6. Not super happy with it, but it should work for now. All right there, Babacus. All right, I like it. Willpower. What else am I missing? I could probably put in like a dodge and parry bonus, but I don't feel like that's really appropriate. Because it's not appropriate because of how skills are managed. You just have to roll under. You just have to roll under. I don't even need this. No, why do I need it? It's just going to roll under. If you have a 20, you're going to have to just roll under it. That's all you have to do. Like these should be dedicated modifiers that are important. That's not important. All right, yeah, okay, that works. I like it. I like it. Good job, me. I deserve a cookie. Now let's see how badly things broke. No. Yeah, that works pretty well. All right, now we get to go to equipment. Now we get to go to the list of weapons. Now we get to stare at this and pray. All right. I want to make a decision on things. So if we go to... Let's open Dead Rain up again, because Dead Rain, again, this is the most human book. Like, relatively speaking, this is a very human book. So, let's go through Kevin's Wild Ride. We don't need game rules. We don't need this. We don't need this. We need equipment. Kevin, you wouldn't not put equipment in this game, right? Oh yeah, of course, it's on page 107. Why wouldn't it be? Right in the middle of the book. Alright, cool, whatever. Okay, we don't want commercial firearms. Because this is how Kevin does... This is how Kevin does things. He likes calibers. He doesn't like non-calibers. We don't need these as much as we need. A lot of those do 3d6, 2d4s. 3d6 seems to be fairly common. Alright, you know what? I can probably use the pre-modern weapons. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to take all of these. Put this actually in here for right now. And now we get to play the magical game of gutting everything. What is not appropriate for this? Yeah, let's get rid of those. Martial or basic, we don't need this. Actually, we can put it as WPs instead. So we don't really need to worry about that too much. We don't need gunpowder like this. Do we need crossbows? I don't think we need all the crossbows, so we can probably get rid of... Let's get rid of the heavy cross... Oh, actually, let's get rid of the normal crossbow. Let's get rid of the arbalist. And these are fairly... Let's get rid of this. These two as well. So we just have the mechanical crossbow and the repeating crossbow. And so those are going to be like... Yeah, this is going to be like one of these. Like one of these Cabela's crossbows. Alright. Do we need... Siege bow is not appropriate. Short bow, somewhat appropriate. Long bow, great bow, not really appropriate. Long bow makes... Again, it's going to be hunting bows. Recurve bows. What I can probably do is cut long bows. No, I'll keep long bows on. Why not? Alright, so... Swords. Let's see. Knife is important. We don't need the flisa exactly. We don't need the guard dagger. Saber, a short sword, a stiletto. We don't really need the Zweihände. We don't really need the bastard sword. Do we need a rapier? Do we need a rapier in this game about hunting Wendigos? Let's assume not. If it's needed, we know how to add it back in, but we don't need it. Delete row. Alright. Staves. We don't need either of the special ones. Is there any other staves that you can think? No, not really. Spears. Pike is not really a thing. Halberd, Guardian Thorn. Spears in general are kind of not really a thing. Let's do the boar spear. Let's actually keep the boar spear in as well as the spear itself. Because it's more about the idea. So, maces. Relatively speaking, alright. Actually, we don't really need ball and chain if we have the flail. Because actually, let's cut ball and chain. Let's cut the Juggernaut Maul. I could probably make an entire different category for fist weapons, but I'm just going to keep the gauntlet here for now. Axes. What axes do we need? We do not need a battle axe. Is Crowbill still a thing? No, it's Vermin. No. If it's referencing Vermintide, I do not need it. Executioner axe. Long axe, offhand axe. Or a pole axe. Alright. So we've cut down our list of weapons pretty significantly melee-wise. But, again, we don't need all of these different kinds of weapons because it's melee, for God's sakes. Unfortunately, this is not the Middle Ages, so we don't have that extensive amount of melee weapons as required. But that's okay. Because the beautiful thing is, since we're doing this, is that we can just take it if we do need it later. We can just add them back in. It takes 5 seconds. So, Marshall and Basic, let's do WP. What about it, Simon? What's up? What? Nah, I didn't say anything about Struggle, Snuggle, or Wendigos. Pretty much what I was saying is that I'm cutting melee weapons down because melee weapons are valuable, but in modern sense, you're not going to have 15 different kinds of swords like readily available. I can't go down to the store and buy a fucking machete or something. No idea, mate. You got something going on in the background or something? Also, Wendigos? Did I mention Wendigos? I don't think I did. Yeah, that would be a good. That's a pretty good explanation. Get some sleep there, don't get some sleep there, mate. Don't worry about it. Like, gonna be a whole lot of not very fun things going forward here, so I mean, don't worry about it. Let's see the weapon. Weapon bypass. Let's see. Deals double damage to armor. Weapon does double damage to sections not covered by armor. Free hands. Dex. Reload. Number of 2 actions. In opponent, the character deal reducing number of actions by 1 to a minimum 0. Let's see, the weapon is awkward. It's awkward to use. The character has a +2. The target's NSR is considered to be at a +2. The weapon requires ammunition to successfully use. I know you can actually, fun fact, you can actually go to the store and buy a machete, but I can't really go to the store and buy myself like a full-on fleecer or stuff like that. Like, maybe a machete wasn't the best idea, but like, I can go to Walmart and buy a machete, which is always really strange for me, is that there's a Walmart brand machete out there. Like, that's just a thing that exists. Like, and there's more than one too. Like, there's a few machetes you can buy at Walmart, and they're not. It's like, yeah, here's your machete. But like, yeah, buying a machete, fine. I can't buy a great sword from Walmart though. God, I wish I could, because I'd have that shit up on my wall. But unfortunately, we live in a tragic society where we're not allowed to have fun. You know, gamers, please rise up. Let's see, we want to do that. Put that 10. Gamer Nation. I'm going to have to fix all of this by hand because God is dead. Actually, I could probably add a great axe to this. I don't think anyone would care. ABCD. Heavy, technically it'd be strength, but it would be bladed. Two-handed. Get some sleep there, Salmon. It's alright, brother. you are not doing too hot. Don't worry about it, brother. It's going to be a lot of this going forward. That, and I have to see, the fun part, what I get to do now is this. All of these guns, or you want to see, if you want pain, if you want the Notepad experience of pain, suffering, where he doesn't get to have fun with his life, I had to do all of this by hand. And this is all from a Valkyria Chronicles game that I got forced to make. Well, not really forced, but I kind of just did for fun. Yeah, there's a reason it's called this, a frankly absurd amount of guns. And yeah, they're all, every single one of them are statted out. Because they demanded. I was gonna use my simplified list of guns. But oh no, they did not want that. Abso-fucking-lutely not. So I made it work. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do actually? Since this is gonna be just a lot of, this is going to be literally just a lot of me like copy pasting things going forward. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it here. I'm going to call it here. And what I'm going to do today and rest of today and tomorrow is get everything moved over to the equipment section. And once the equipment's done, we're pretty good because we've got a majority of this section done and there's not much else to do. Once the equipment's done, then we get to move on to the advancements and how that works. That will be Wednesday. On Wednesday, that's it. Like, I think we're going to wrap this thing up pretty damn quick, which is good. I like that. I like, you know, this project went from, okay, this is going to take me a little while to not really taking me long at all because things just slotted together really nicely. I will say, most likely, I liked it a lot, Bobbika, so it was really nice. Really cool. It kind of fit what I was going for. But for the, for this, I think once equipment is done, Wednesday will be advancements, and that will just be me powering through it. I don't think I don't think it's going to be like Notepad must die worthy, but it's going to be just not much. It's going to be a pretty short, honestly, it's going to be a pretty damn short stream. I may just slap on like, hey, this is what Wendigos are like. You know, some random cryptids that you can shoot in the face using guns. But it's functional. And I'll do my detox probably this Wednesday on the D2000 system and my thoughts on it as of right now. Because I think it's functional. It's working. And I think it works a little bit too well. which is kind of a weird thing to say. But I think it works a little bit too well. I always say this about generic systems. Every generic system that's out there, things like GURPS or GURPS, and everything is flavored to that method. You can add whatever you want to it. You can run anything in GURPS. The problem is it's going to be GURPS flavored. You know, it's going to be Big Eye Small Mouth flavored. It's going to be that particular game's sense. That's what it's going to feel like. That's what it's going to act like. And I think this is what this system is going to be. You're going to get it, and it's going to be flavored to this. Now, on one hand, that's cool. You know, I have a backup system. That's the thing. I have a backup for anything I feel like doing. You know, if there's a weird project that I have no idea what system to use, I have something. Do I want to use this for a lot of things? No. It was kind of like my 3D6 system I used for a while there. It's great. It works. It's a fun system. I don't want to use it that much because it's so reliable. I think that's the main issue, is that it's a perfectly reliable and functional system, but it's going to be flavored in that sense. And I think that's what D2000 is to me right now. It's very much flavored in this method. But I'll call it there. And appropriately enough, the music just ended. So Godspeed, good luck. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Get some sleep. Catch you all on Wednesday. If you ever have any questions, feel free to hit me up at my Discord. What I mean by reliable is that it's going to do its thing, and it's going to do nothing else. You know exactly what you're going to get out of it. It's not not in the spirit of the SPRUG workshop, quote unquote, to make kind of really focused down games. And it's reliable. It's going to do its thing. It's going to do nothing else, but it's going to do what it sets out to do. This one, it's to be a Megaversal clone, copy, horrifying abomination. Oh, you can fail in this game pretty easy. I think I like designing games that kind of push boundaries or do something really weird. Like Fist of Chaos, for example. Fist of Chaos, I did an entire game based around the concept of punching someone in the face and how to make that kinetic feel of hand-to-hand combat really satisfying. That game does that one particular thing and nothing else, and it's a very specific, very focused down, very weird game. I could take what my idea is for that and put it into D2000, and it's going to be D2000 flavored. And I can run it. It's going to work. But it's not going to have that chaos factor I like a little bit. That kind of a really nice, weird, that wacky weird. Like something isn't quite right here. I can probably formulate my thoughts a little bit better on this Wednesday, so if you feel like coming back, feel free to, or I'll probably upload, and everything should be uploaded probably by this weekend to the YouTube. So Godspeed, good luck. Here, let me 1 second. I'm gonna be a real human being for once, and what I should do is have like a method that people can just like hop into the server a lot easier. But if you have any questions, feel free to pop in. That's my Discord. All right, things are looking pretty good. All right, I will catch you all on the flip.